A tall group of extraterrestrial elites, who controlled the galaxy with an iron grasp, were assembled by the Galactic Council. Because creatures that had evolved under various stars felt superior to them, Earth was no longer just a fresh addition to their collection of conquered worlds. Their diplomats, strategists, and fleet commanders observed the advancements made by humanity with a certain amount of amusement. But the Council had destroyed many more developed societies earlier, so to them, this was just another regular imposition of their will. They made the quick choice to demand tribute, an incredible amount of resources, and military surrender. The reasoning seemed straightforward, given humanity's recent advancements that rendered them a danger. Depriving them of their independence would guarantee the Council's continuous control. Any indication would encounter tremendous force, as the Council had consistently triumphed over innumerable species, which had ingrained in them a deep-rooted conceit that made them think this directive was only a formality. Earth would bow like everyone else, and the message was transmitted throughout the galaxy. Humanity was to provide its resources or suffer the repercussions. The consequences were obvious. They would give up their future, their fleets, and their technical advancements, or face the Galactic Council's annihilation. It was a win-win scenario. Either humanity gave up without a struggle, or they would get to show off their might once more by destroying a species that had ventured to believe it could stand alone. But the Council's hubris was significant. They were unaware of the silent resolve brewing beneath the surface of the ground, and they didn't know what it meant to confront the essence of humanity, a species that had not only endured innumerable hardships, but had flourished in hardship. Earth's history was one of pushing back and revolt, back against insurmountable odds, but the Council only observed. When the Terran Empire received the Ultimatum, the leadership of a race they thought was unprepared for war was not taken by surprise. Humanity had been anticipating this day for years. They observed how the Council moved, noting that each species that had the ability to upset the status quo was soon met with demands and eventually violence. Earth's leaders realized they needed to prepare for this, not out of fear, but because surrender would result in the gradual suffocation of all that humanity had built. They couldn't bow in Earth's war halls because there wasn't panic or anguish. There was instead a cool, collected silence. The top strategist for the Empire convened to evaluate the risks posed by the Galactic Council and to carefully debate the possible consequences. For external observers, the Empire's reaction might have seemed almost indifferent, uncaring. But behind the surface, plans were already underway for humanity's massive military-industrial complex. Orders were issued, and ships from all over the world started to assemble. The Terran Emperor, a powerful, steely-willed man, had already prepared. When it came time to speak to the people of Earth, he did so with poise that made many shudder. The Emperor did not sugarcoat the issue in his speech. Instead, he spoke bluntly, sending shivers down the spines of those in attendance. Recognizing the threat's magnitude, yet maintaining an underlying confidence that exuded strength, he said, "Our adversaries expect our surrender. Every colony, outpost, and fleet heard their call. They thought we would bow down, that their armadas and armaments would make us cower, but they don't realize that we are not a species that cowers in terror. Our past is evidence of our defiance. Against those who would have destroyed us, we will rise again, and our future is not theirs to claim. We won't pay tribute or give away the things we've fought for. If the Galactic Council thinks they can take what is ours, let them visit and witness the potential of humanity." The Emperor's speech set the Terran Empire on fire. It wasn't the words of a desperate leader or someone trying to incite. Rather, it was the calm reaction of a society that had repeatedly battled its demons and emerged stronger each time. Humanity had no plan to retreat. As the Emperor's message permeated the Terran military, reaching every soldier and commander, they prepared for battle. Ships that had stayed hidden in Earth's industrial complexes now surfaced across the Terran Empire. Capital ships and weapon systems the Council had never even imagined were prepared to be used. The Terran Empire did not display its might during planning. Despite Earth's elite squadrons getting ready for battle, the Galactic Council thought that by sending a warning, they would intimidate weaker species into complying with their demands. The Council had consistently underestimated humanity. In every aspect, the conceit that had previously benefited them would now be the cause of their downfall. As the Terran Empire strengthened its defenses and mobilized its fleets, the Galactic Council remained unaware, believing Earth would act like every other race they had conquered. They had failed to take into consideration the Terran Empire's determination. Humanity was prepared. Not for a hopeful opportunity to negotiate, but for the inevitable day when the rulers of the galaxy would try to enslave them. In the shadow of Earth's cities, an armada had been built, not in haste, but with secret shipyards, constructed with a single focus: to confront the day when the Council would go too far. This armada was more than just a group of ships. It was evidence of humanity's unwavering commitment to innovation, created with technology that competed with and frequently outperformed anything the Council had ever seen. The Terran Empire's preparations were carried out in silence. For years, the Galactic Council had been told humanity was operating under their dominion, yet the Council showed off. The armada that now lay in wait was unlike anything else. Humanity had mastered its armaments in the shadows, sleek, strong, and outfitted with advanced cloaking technology. At the core of this armada were technologies that made it invisible to even the most advanced Council sensors. Veterans of the elite Terran squadron were more than just soldiers. They were survivors, hardened by decades of war on Earth and its colonies. Each one was carefully chosen after repeatedly triumphing in battle under the most trying circumstances. These troops weren't just taught, they were bred to be deadly, masters of both strategy and combat. The squadron's calm precision was so effective that they didn't need to show off. Composed, deliberate, and incredibly effective when called upon, they were ready to take any necessary action to guarantee the survival of their people. They weren't the unskilled or hopeless combatants the Council had anticipated. They were the best of humanity, and their determination was unwavering. The Terran Empire's military strategy was based on preparedness, but there was much more to it than that. After years of research, humanity had developed a terrifying secret weapon, the culmination of human ingenuity stretched to its farthest limits. The Council had rejected Earth as a primitive danger, unaware of how far humanity had gone to protect itself. This weapon was designed as a final resort, a reminder to the galaxy that humanity would not disappear into thin air. If the Council pushed Earth too far, they would witness this weapon in operation and realize the true cost of their conceit. But the Terran Empire's rulers had other weapons besides destruction. They created a strategy that capitalized on both: their military might and the Council's biggest vulnerability, overconfidence. After decades of unchallenged rule, the Council had become complacent. Their once dominant fleets had turned into representations of inaction. They had relied on intimidation and fear rather than real war. Earth was aware of this and used it to their benefit, planning a series of coordinated strikes. Each target was selected with precision for the greatest impact rather than maximum disarray. It wasn't just about sticking around, it was about sending a message to the entire galaxy and the Galactic Council that Earth would not be used as a pawn. The fleet stood ready, preparations made, and the quiet before the storm was almost over. Every soldier, commander, and pilot was aware of the stakes. They fought for their armada, their home, their families, and their future, not for glory or conquest. Tensions increased as they took their places, hidden from the Council's curious gaze. But the Terran Empire was set to unleash its entire power, and the galaxy was blissfully unaware of what was about to happen. As Earth's fleet assembled, the galaxy was about to witness an extraordinary event. The calm, deliberate preparations were nearly finished. The elite squadron's stealthy precision would soon put humanity's well-planned strategy into action, spearheading the assault. What started as ordinary screens filled with incoming information and alarms swiftly descended into chaos. The Council's military strongholds were the first targets, strategically selected. Installations thought to be impenetrable crumbled in minutes under Earth's might. The Terran fleet's weapon systems were unmatched, reducing once mighty alien fleets to scrap. The Council was unprepared. Their fleets, stretched too thin, couldn't react quickly enough, and when they tried, the Terran fleet obliterated their ships with brutal efficiency. The galaxy was stunned as the Terran fleet's overwhelming power devastated the Council's strongholds and fleets, turning the tide of the war in Earth's favor.